what's a team that I would love him in Orlando. This will be very unpopular, and Sam Presti already came out and said fuck you to everybody who was calling for the Thunder to trade for him. But I would love to see Jrue in OKC with Chet, SGA, and Jalen Williams. I like Josh Giddey too, and I think Jrue is someone you could get without giving up any of your primetime assets.
Yeah.
But you have Davis Bertans and some of the salary questions there. That's in the West. I know you've called like Toronto and Miami kind of obvious. I just don't know. I guess they are obvious, but I don't know if they're obvious because I don't know what the packages all of a sudden look like for them. Would you give up OG for Jrue? You probably wouldn't if you're Toronto, right?
Oh man, I don't think so. Cause he does fill a pretty significant need there with Van Vliet gone, and like, Dennis Schroeder is going to be the starting point guard, presumably, right? I guess maybe Scotty Barnes is going to do a lot of your ball handling, but just looking down the list, like, are the Knicks someone we should talk about? Is there anything there? I mean,
so this will be wildly unpopular among the Knicks fans as well. I actually would love Jrue Holiday because like he can check wings. Look, you've already leaned into the hey, everybody's undersized model. Like all our wings are undersized except for RJ Barrett. If it's just, I'm laughing, Cleveland to back up Mitchell from Thomas Scott. I mean, they got Garland and Mitchell. What are they trading? Jared Allen and stuff. I don't even know if they get to the salary without including Mobley or then one of Mitchell or Garland anyway.
And again, Portland has Ayton now, so I'm hard pressed to believe they're going to trade for another young center.
But I don't know, man. The Knicks, like, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm still semi-hopeful for RJ Barrett. But if it's like Fournier and Barrett, and that's just going to get you Jrue Holiday, and maybe you have to give up like one of the picks or maybe it's super heavily protected, I would probably do it. You are very small then. And like you have Josh Hart, Dante DiVincenzo, Jrue Holiday, Jalen Brunson on the same team. I would look at it. I would like, it's kind of, you get out of the RJ Barrett deal. Maybe you're not feeling super confident. Again, I think RJ Barrett could be good. He's just not worth catering your team around. And I think he very much needs to be in a situation that might be more prepared to do that. And the next time I just won't allow that. If there was a trade where you could, like Julius Randle's involved in there and it's Julius Randle and picks, maybe that makes some sense. I mean, Julius Randle was better than Jrue last year. Definitely offensively, he was better than Jrue. Mm-hmm. So there's that to factor in. They're not an obvious team, but if I'm the Knicks, just because of what it probably would have costed to get Dame, Jrue Holiday probably would intrigue me more than a Damian Lillard trade would. Again, just because of the opportunity costs. That's a good. I'm coming back to like if you were to pick one team where like you want them to go out and make a play for Jrue Holiday, who is it?
It's Miami.
Be realistic.
It's Miami. It's got to be.
It's Orlando for me. I just don't. I guess I'm not in love. I guess it would be really good in Miami, but
it's more that like Miami has like no recourse now. Like Miami just has to come out of this offseason with something to show for it. So yeah, Brian Chance, you think the Bucks tampered? I think everybody tampers. Like if the Bucks hadn't tampered. Oh, by the way, did you see this video that everybody's dredging up now of the All-Star draft when Giannis makes Lillard the first pick and it makes him his first pick, and LeBron like kind of gives him some side eye, like I see what you're doing, because he picked him over Holiday. So that's fun. It's nothing, Dan, honestly, but it's fun.
I will say, every team tampers, and here's the big question: do you think Milwaukee tampered more than Miami did? Absolutely not.
No chance. Okay, one more, just because I want to see what you'll say. What about the Kings? This is a team that needs someone that can guard someone. Can you get there with like? You probably got to have Keegan Murray in the deal, and that might be just we're done talking for a lot of Kings fans, but you could get there with you pick the salary, Herter, Monk, Barnes. Although I don't know if you can trade Barnes.
You can't trade Barnes right now. And getting to the salary, so it would be Herter and Davion Mitchell get you to, that's like $21 million. That's just not, I don't think they have because they're not trading Domas, who's just renegotiated and extended, or Fox.
Correct.
And you can't trade Barnes. So I don't think they're getting there. Hey, don't laugh or don't hate on it. Warriors have that CP3 contract floating around. They could maybe look at that. Would Jrue Holiday come off the bench, or he would actually make? I would start him if he wanted to start, just because that lineup would still make more sense than CP3 in the starting five. I think.
If you're the Warriors, you make the call. I think it's that interesting, because if you could do it Well, I don't know what you're throwing in, right? Like maybe do you have to include the Warriors are pretty encumbered pick wise, or maybe not too badly. You could do well. Why does
Would you
but then
trade
Portland's just
Jonathan
flipping
Kuminga for Jrue
Paul.
Holiday?
Yeah, probably.
Ooh.
But then Portland's just flipping Paul though. Think of it from the Blazers side. It's like, okay, so cool. We got another aging point guard that we have to find a home for.
If it came attached to a pick in Kuminga, I don't think the Warriors would do it. Quite frankly, maybe they should.
Well,
but
you got to get to the. How do you get the money? How are we getting there? Well, it just
CP3 and Kuminga just it. Like
that might be Paul Kuminga in a pick is probably too much.
Paul is at 30.8, so Paul and Kuminga just immediately get you to Jrue Holiday's salary.
Maybe it's Moody and Paul
and a pick.
And a pick. I don't know. I mean, definitely like, I don't know that it totally would eliminate all of the, well, who's going to start questions for the Warriors, because like clearly Paul should come off the bench. It's like everyone's saying all the right things. All the coaching staff and the front office is saying, we're going to check it out. We're going to spend all of camp looking and seeing what the best lineups are, where everyone, like if you hook them up to a polygraph, would say like, yeah, of course, Chris Paul should run the second unit. That's like a no brainer. You can't take Looney out of the first unit. You're not going to take Clay out of it. Everybody else is just like non-negotiable. So, but Holiday doesn't. I mean, Holiday kind of creates the same issues. Like, who are you benching if Holiday is there instead of Paul? Is the calculus any different? I don't think it is.
No, except for the fact that because of what Holiday does defensively, it's probably just easier to say we don't like if he needs to start, he'll start. That's fine.
Yeah, right. He would be more likely to close than Paul, I think, too, if you do take Looney off the floor or like. I don't know. It's the Warriors starting five is so set that like it'd be hard to come up with someone that you definitely like. Yeah, sorry, Clay. Even though Thompson like he definitely is someone that you could bring off the bench based on his decline.
I wonder if Holiday is like egoless enough to where I think you could maybe sell him on like, is he or is it just like, is he starting and then you're just going to staggered units very quickly? Because I don't think you're paying Kevon Looney bench guy money.
Yeah.
So it's like
but he's more than bench guy important, especially since they're just not going to sign another big.
Could you play matchups? Like, could you sell Holiday on that?
Yeah. I think the Warriors are a better team with Holiday than Paul.
Where it's like the Warriors kind of saved CP3 from basketball Siberia at this point. But if he's like really wants to start and they don't want to, like, all right, well, we're going to send you another rebuilding team. Then you go and figure it out.
Well, that's the thing is like Paul would be on like 5 teams this offseason if this happens, because the Blazers would not keep him. They would have to trade him someplace else. I don't know. Yeah, we're clearly running out of teams if we're trying.
I have a team actually that we haven't spoke about, and I'm wondering if we should. What about the Nets?
Yeah, they definitely are short on ball handlers. Yeah, and they might be willing to pay him too. I don't know. I mean, I don't know why that doesn't jump out as like a real like no brainer fit, because maybe
because you don't buy like I do that they're kind of like, but it's more justifiable. They're in the middle of, it's not an existential crisis, but it's like an existential search. Like because I don't think they know what they are. They don't really know how good they're going to be with this Mikal Bridges, Nick Claxton core. I mean, Jrue Holiday comes in and they look, they have Cam Johnson. If I'm assuming you would have to keep him as part of that deal. Maybe getting to the money is tough. I've not looked at, I mean, I don't know, the Blazers will take back Ben Simmons just because his contract only has 2 years left. But you do have Spencer Dinwiddie that you could step ladder your way there, and Royce O'Neal. If you're trying to be competitive, and I don't want to say in the middle, but like if you're trying to follow that route, Holiday feels like, yeah, Dame is too much because of how many years he has left and probably what the Blazers wanted, but is Holiday an in between because he's basically functionally an expiring contract?
Yeah, no, that's an interesting one. I don't have a lot else. Do you want? Can you just give me the Holiday to the Celtics, Brian Chance? Yeah, it's tricky. It's tricky.
Would you trade if you're the Celtics? And let's just say, because honestly, RW3 had a better season than DeAndre Ayton last year. Let's just say there's other teams involved, but if you are the Celtics, would you even consider Brogdon and RW3 for Jrue Holiday?
Brogdon and RW3 for Holiday. I mean, I think I would consider it for sure. I'm trying to decide if like that's a definite go for the Celtics, because it does.
I don't think it's definite.
No, I don't think so either. I think it's somewhere between I'd consider it and fall short of a definite go.